What's up and welcome to another YouTube video. My name is Eddie and I'm still addicted to Marvel Snap, and today we're doing something different. We're looking at some data mine cards that are coming out in the future of Marvel Snap. Let's jump right into it. As you guys can see over here, as our good friend It's Guess Gaming wrote this article about 10 days ago, so I know I'm late as always. He actually was able to data mine and find out the cards that are coming out for the month of July, month of August, and September, but there's a little bit of a twist to the September card. We're going to talk about them very soon, and we're going to have a bit of fun together with this video. So the way it's going to work, we're going to look at all the cards, see what's coming out, the releases, the schedule, the data mined info. But as always, just a quick disclaimer, all of this is data mined, which means that it's not official. Anything can change. The stats can change, the cards can change, the series they're releasing in that can change, and even the release date can change. So none of this is official. It's just what has been found in the data of the game and the file, sorry, of the game. So let's go right into it. First thing you can see here, disclaimer that he just said as well. It looks like July is going to be the Rise of the Phoenix is the season. The season pass card is going to be the Phoenix Force right over here. She's 5 energy, 6 power card, and her on reveal is revive one of your destroyed cards and merge with it. That card can move each turn. Now, I've talked about this a lot on my Twitch stream with my viewers. Make sure if you're not following me, go check out the Twitch as well. It's in the description, so you can come hang out with us. We play Snap a lot. I like the idea of this card. It does sound that it could be a little bit too overpowered. Now, here's the thing. If the card that spawns, that gets revived, merges with the Phoenix Force, and the Phoenix Force is the main card, I don't think it's too strong because it just gets the ability, the power from the previous card, and then it can move around. It's still strong, but it's not like impossible to beat. If it's the other way around, let's say this card merges with the other card, kind of like Hulkbuster does, and the other card is the lead card, then I feel like that can get dangerous. I don't have an example in my head right now, but let's use, for example, Spider-Man 2099. If you destroy Spider-Man 2099 from your hand, and then the Phoenix Force merges with it, so then it becomes a 4-9, because Spider-Man 2099 is a 4-3, so he gets the +6 from the Phoenix Force. But then when you move him, you still get to do the ability of Spider-Man, which is to destroy a card. That would be an example of something that I feel like it could be a little bit too strong. Now, in this case, it's not as strong as it is because he can only destroy one card, but that's just one example. Let's say Jean Grey. Right, if Phoenix Force merges with Jean Grey, and then the ongoing is that players have to always play their first card in Jean Grey's location. If the Phoenix Force merges with her, and then you're moving that card away around, and you're forcing your opponent to play where you're moving the Jean Grey to, that sounds like a little bit too strong in my opinion. Now, the other thing that I feel like we have to not forget, it is a 5 energy card, so you're not gonna play it early. You're gonna play it fairly late. You gotta destroy the right card. So there's a lot of other little things that fall into the potential of this card, but I still wanted to talk about it because you never know. I think personally it's going to be okay. I do wish it's the Phoenix Force card that is the one in charge, but if it's the other card, I don't think it's going to be the end of the world, because I don't think it's going to be too strong, but there is a potential that maybe someone has figured out a combo that I can't think of that's going to just be insane. So that's the season pass card. So July, if you buy the pass, you're going to get the Phoenix Force. Next up, the schedule looks like it's going to go Jean Grey, Echo, Legion, and then Mirage is the last one. And as you guys can see here, Jean Grey and Echo are Series 5, Legion and Mirage are Series 4. One thing to note, if you guys haven't seen it, I just posted a video about the big changes to card acquisitions that are coming. Personally, I don't really think we need to worry too much anymore about which series the cards are releasing to with the new system with the spotlight caches. So I think that cards being Series 5 or Series 4, outside of their costs from tokens, the rest of it doesn't really matter. So I don't think we need to be concerned about the release of which series they're jumping into. But let me know what you guys think of it. So the next card we have here is Jean Grey. Jean Grey is a 3-3, and her ongoing is that players must always play their first card here each turn if possible. So she basically is going to force you and your opponent to basically play into Morag, right, where it's like you always play your first card in her location, and then you can play cards somewhere else. Is it busted? I don't think so. I think it's going to be quite an annoying card. I can see this one getting the leech treatment, the leader treatment, where it's not overpowered, it's just annoying. People are just going to hate playing against her, but I don't think necessarily it's a strong card. If you build your deck like a bounce deck, you're gonna counter Jean Grey no problem. If you have a bounce deck and you put Jean Grey in, I think that's gonna be really good. If you're playing Electro deck, that's gonna make it really a good card to like counter like Galactus decks or anything like that. Like you're kind of forcing your opponent to play into Jean Grey's location. So there's a good mix in my opinion to it. Lots of good and lots of bad. Next, we've got Echo. Echo's a 1 energy, 2 power card. And after your opponent plays an ongoing card here, remove its ability. This is the first ever counter to Cosmo that we can have, where basically Cosmo can now get his ability canceled. I will say, how often is that going to happen? Not as often, I think, as people think. I feel like Cosmo's play has definitely dropped a lot. And also, being able to guess where your opponent's going to play Echo is going to be tough. However, on the other side, there's a lot of cards that are other ongoing cards, like Jean Grey and like a bunch of other, that you're going to want to cancel with Echo, which is going to be really cool. Like a Professor X, this is a really good way to counter Professor X, right? So if you have your opponent's playing a lane control, like I do, favorite deck to play at the moment, Echo's going to really be annoying for players like me because we're going to get our Professor X canceled all the time. I think it's going to be a great card. For 1 cost, I already talked about this in previous videos. I love the fact that they're adding more 1 cost cards that are really fun to play. I feel like we need to add a lot to that pool. I think 2 costs and 1 cost are the ones that we need more of right now. Next, we got Legion. Legion is a 5 energy, 7 power card. On reveal, he replaces each other location with the location that he's played at. This, I feel like, is not going to be very meta of a card. I don't see him taking over the game that much. I think during hot locations or featured locations, he's going to either be a must-play in every deck, either to remove the hot location that you may or may not like, or to add multiple of them if you do enjoy them. I think it's going to be a really fun time. I don't think he's going to fit into a lot of decks as being like a top tier card, because like at the same time, why would you want to have 3 times the same location? But I do think that it could add a lot of fun and chaos to the game, and that's the kind of play I like to see. When it comes to just having fun and not worrying about like competitive side of Snap, Legion's going to be a really fun one to be in that location. Also, I kind of feel like he's a little weak. I feel like a 5/8 would have been better, but 5/7 is fine. I feel like a 5/8 with that kind of ability might have been a bit better. Next, we got Mirage. Mirage is a 2/2, 2 energy, 2 power. On reveal, copy the lowest cost card in your opponent's hand into your hand and give it +2. This sounds like a really fun card. I don't know if you've seen my last video. I did this video like data mine cards a while ago, and in that video, Mirage's ability is that she pretended to be Mr. Fantastic for some weird reason, and then at the end she would reveal herself to actually be Mirage. It was such a weird ability that we were all like, why was that a thing? I think this is way better. I definitely think that this is going to be a fun one where it reveals a bit of information about your opponent, and it's not too strong because you're just copying the weakest card. It's really cool because I know like White Queen is a really strong card to have that copies the highest cost card. So Mirage being the opposite and copying the lowest cost card is going to be a lot of fun in my opinion. Those are the July cards. If I had to pick one as the one that I'm most excited for, I think I would go with Echo. Probably second one is Mirage, and then Jean Grey and Legion, I'm kind of like, they'll be fun, but like those are probably my 2 least excited cards. So as we go through it, make sure to tell me which ones are you most excited for July. Next up, we're going into August. August is going to be themed Big in Japan. Again, potentially. And then we've got Dakin or Dakin, I really don't know how to say the name, as the season pass card. And then obviously the day that Dakin or Dakin releases, I'm gonna call him Dakin for the rest of the video, Phoenix Force will drop to Series 5. Dakin, his on reveal is that he adds the Muramasa shard to your hand. This is like a weapon. I don't know if they have it below. No, they don't. And then if you destroy that weapon, Dakin gets his power doubled. So it's really cool where you get a added card into your hand, and if you either destroy it or discard it, he gets double power. So that's what he's going to be doing. I think this is a perfect season pass card. Not too strong, not too weak, really fun, fits in discard and destroy decks. So I feel like he can be played in multiple different styles of decks. And I think I really like his style. I don't know much about the character, so I'd love to know more about the lore, but I think that the ability and the idea behind the card is very unique and very fun. It's going to fit in a lot of decks, so I think it's a really good fit for a season pass card. Then we are getting 3 cards for the month of August. We're getting Lady Deathstrike, X23, and Silver Samurai. As you guys can see here, it looks like all 3 of them are Series 5, and they're releasing one at a time each week. Lady Deathstrike is a 5 energy, 3 power card, and her on reveal is that she destroys every card with less power than her. That's gonna be insane if there's a way for you guys to like Shuri or Nakia and give her a buff and get her stronger, so when she is played there, she could destroy a whole lane of cards because it destroys everything on your side and your opponent's side. I think it's gonna be really good to mix Lady Deathstrike with Death herself. I think this card is so cool. I cannot wait to play this card. I think it's gonna be a really fun one. X23 is a 1 energy, 2 power card, and when this is discarded or destroyed, it regenerates at a random location and you get +1 energy the next turn. This sounds insane for a 1 energy card, and again, I love it. As I said, I want more 1 energy cards. X23 is going to be a blast to play. And then the last one is Silver Samurai, who's a 4/5, 4 energy, 5 power. On reveal, each player discards the lowest power card from their hand. Very similar to like a Moon Knight or like a Black Bolt. So this is just another way to get like stature on the board. Really good way to ruin your opponent's deck and hand. Like if you mix him with Moon Knight, and like if you're playing a discard deck with like Swarm, Apocalypse and all that, Silver Samurai, and then you got the Black Bolt and Moon Knight, you can really build up a strong side deck on your side while weakening your opponent. Gonna work really well with X23 and Wolverine. I really like the idea that discard's getting a bit of love here as well. So another, in my opinion, really great card. And I think a 4/5 is a good amount of power to energy to power with that kind of ability in my opinion. Super exciting. I gotta say, I think I'm more excited for August than I am July. Again, if I had to only pick one, I think I want to still go with Lady Deathstrike because I'm a big fan of Destroy decks. So Lady Deathstrike is probably my #1. But honestly, X23 and Silver Samurai both sound really great as well. And then this is where we're going to have some fun, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on to your shorts because I need you guys to go into the comments for this. The month of September, it looks like it's going to be a Loki season. We don't have the name yet. It looks like Loki is going to be the season pass card. And then we've got Aliyah, I don't know how to say the name, Ravonna Renslayer, and Mobius M. Mobius. Now, as you guys can see here, we don't actually have the pictures, the energy, or anything. It looks like Loki is a 1/1, could change obviously. But if you look at the description, never gonna let you down, never gonna give you up. You know the rules, and so do I. Never gonna let you down. So clearly, they rickrolled the data miners who found the leaks over here. I think it's really fun. This is the game I want us to play. If it was you who was releasing Loki, Aliyah, Ravonna Renslayer, and Mobius M. Mobius, what energy, what power, and what ability would you give each one of them? Make sure to comment down below. I want to read every single one of them, and we'll see which one's my favorite. I'll comment, I'll reply to every single comment and see which one's my favorite. So I'm gonna comment as well my description for each one of these cards. Again, don't worry too much about the lore. I don't actually know much about these characters. I know they're from the show. I did see the season 1, but I don't remember much about them. So we're just gonna make up some fun things. If you were up to you, let's keep Loki as a 1/1, and then give him a description of an ability that you'd like Loki to do, and then let's make up something fun for all 3 of these guys, and make sure to comment what you think they are. The last 2 things we're going to look at is the Conquest Rewards. So as you guys know, right now this month, if you're doing the Conquest, which is Infinity Week right now, so hopefully you guys are getting all of your Infinite avatars. We got the Green Goblin as a variant if you completed the Conquest Rewards. For July, it's going to be this Mr. Sinister. And then for August, it's the Anime Wolverine. I will say, I think the Green Goblin one we have in the shop right now is way better than both of these. I think Cerebral decks are going to be very happy to get this Mr. Sinister. The Wolverine, I gotta admit, I don't know, man. It doesn't do it for me. I'm not a huge fan of this Anime Wolverine. We've seen better, in my opinion. There's a lot of really good ones, but this is like, it's not bad. It's just my least favorite. And that, everybody, is all the cards that are releasing this month, or the next 3 months, actually, in Marvel Snap. Which ones are you guys most excited for each month? What is your way that you would release Loki, Aliyah, and all of those other ones? Tell me everything in the comments. As always, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more Marvel Snap conversation, because I've got a bunch more videos coming up throughout the rest of the month and the week and probably the year. This game is so good. I have so much more content to talk about. All right, have a good rest of your day, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.